Without objection,
time.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Recently, I read an article by Gene Edward Veith, if I may not pronounce his name right, entitled "A Kinder, Gentler Marxism." He begins his comments by saying, "Barack Obama is not a socialist," exclaimed Eric Etheridge of the New York Times. "He is a social democrat." The administration's attempt to control private companies and free markets should not alarm us, according to Etheridge and other pundits. European nations do it all the time. It's simply an application of European political and economic theory known as social democracy. Now, we were promised several things by our president during his campaign. He promised us government reform and renewed and repaired economy, a more ethical business practices, and he did all this as we watched our economy crash. After these 100 days in office, we need to illuminate the path that this administration is actually taking us down. It could be the path that leads us from limited government that stimulates our economy naturally to a government mostly aligned with social democracy. Like the social economies of Western Europe, with massive taxes and chronic high unemployment. An objective definition of social democracy from Merriam-Webster's online dictionary is as follows: a political movement advocating a gradual and peaceful transition from capitalism to socialism by democratic means. Or a second definition, a democratic welfare state that incorporates both capitalist and socialist practices. So this political and economic system either moves from capitalism to socialism or combines both capitalism and socialism to form a welfare state. We need to know more. Here's the first paragraph from the Encyclopedia Britannica about social democracy. A political ideology that advocates a peaceful evolutionary transition of society from capitalism to socialism using established political processes. Based on the 19th century socialism and the tenets of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, social democracy shares common ideological roots with communism, but eschews the military and totalitarianism. Social democracy was originally known as revisionism because it represented a change in Marxist doctrine, primarily in the former's repudiation of the use of revolution to establish a capitalist society. These definitions, paired with some of the actions we've seen so far in the administration, cause us to concern that maybe they may be indicative of gradual movement towards social democracy. We've got the stimulus bill, we've got the bank bailouts. Now we've got the proposal that they'll own 50% of General Motors, along with a 39% share of the unions, a 10% share for the bondholders, and a 1% share for the stockholders. As a result of these actions, the federal government's outrageous spending now equals almost 90% of gross domestic product. The GDP for last year was 14.2 and now 12.8. So the question is, did we elect a president because we wanted to have a social democracy system? When Americans cast their vote for Barack Obama and they cast it for the Democratic Congress, did they also intend that this country should adopt social democracy, that lesser form of Marxism? These are issues we need to talk about. And if this is the place our country's going, then maybe we need to amend or adopt new founding documents that more fit this form of government. These are thoughts we ought to all think about. I know I'm thinking about them. I hope you are too. Yield back.